Good morning. Welcome to Full Circle Ozarks.
That's a big piece of wood for the battery operated saw.
How'd it do?
It done really well.
Good.
Let me try one more. What I'm interested in finding out is how long a battery will last. This is a fresh battery and cutting really big wood. I suspect I will need a spare battery so I can swap them out. We'll see. And remember, this is a 20-inch bar too on a battery operated saw. So
How big is that log? Was that one, did we measure it?
We measured it in a previous video
think
when we first brought them
17?
up. One of them is 17 and like 15 at the small end. So.
Yeah. And it's red oak.
And it's red oak.
Yeah.
So, okay, I need to reposition the tractor and pick that up a little bit, I think.
Kaput.
Get my measuring stick again. You got to keep the wood boss happy.
make it easier to pick up and put on the log
Yeah.
splitter. And that's not real kind on a chain as much dirt as we got in the middle.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of dirt in the middle there, but
Yeah.
so 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's still going. I think it just went. It says 2 bars. So I don't know if the saw overheated,
Oh,
if the
yeah.
batteries got too hot. It says it's got 2 bars. So we'll bust a little bit, then we'll come back and look at this
Yeah.
again. Let's measure this. What do you say? So
Alrighty.
people can see how big around it is. This end is 16 and a half. So, and if I were to go that way, it's about 17 that way. Let me flip it over. We'll get the other end. I gotta lay it down anyway. And folks, that tractor sure does make this one of these big rounds up. This tree had been down well over 2 years. And it's red oak, but it's producing some good wood. my back just didn't feel like lifting these by myself. Let's see, this is the end I need to measure now, right? $17. Okay, we're going to get this busted up. Again, the Dewalt 20 volt was a 20-inch bar. Excuse me, a 60 volt. A 60 volt is what we cut these up with. So I'm impressed with that Dewalt saw. The battery life, cutting logs this size, is not the best. But I'm asking a whole lot for that out of that saw, and I don't think the saw was designed to do that. But just cut it regular firewood and all, trim it around. It's going to be an excellent saw, and especially with that 20-inch bar, you don't have to bend down as far, and you can stand up straight. So at the end of the day, your back is not as tired. So anyway, I'll comment more about the saw later. Okay, the saw and batteries had about 15-20 minutes to cool now. We're going to try to finish cut this last piece out. If that don't work, we're going to call it in terms of battery usage. So I guess maybe I just got a little bit hot a while ago. So either the battery or the saw, either way, it got a little bit warm. But again, I was asking too much for a battery operated saw.
Yeah, because those are 17-inch logs, and yeah.
And they're red oak, and that's pretty hard wood.
Yeah.
And it's dried wood that's been down for a couple of years, so that's hard on any saw to cut. So anyway, I'm definitely impressed, but at this point I'm leaning toward getting a second battery. Just once I decide for sure if it's the battery or the saw that overheated.
Yeah.
But either way, when we was cutting some smaller stuff, I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday, I would get maybe 2 hours out of the battery.
At least, yeah.
So a good solid 2 hours, and so that still kind of leads me to believe that probably a second battery would work out pretty good. And this is a 12 amp hour battery too, so it's a pretty large battery. So anyway, more comments a little bit later. As you can see, there's still a lot of wood to be cut up that I have up here ready. Got two pretty large stacks, so I need to get the saw in here and get this cut up. But okay, as promised, I'm gonna make some more comments about the Dewalt 60 volt 20-inch bar chainsaw. I wanted to provide some actual usage video and then do a kind of a review summary at the end. So this is what this part is all about. So if you'll notice, the last log that I cut a few moments ago, that was a very large, I say very large, it was around 17 inches in diameter. That log had been on the ground for 2 years or so, so it was nice and dry, and I wanted to see how long this battery would last. This is a 12 amp hour battery. So I purposely challenged the saw pretty good in that red oak log. So this saw here, cutting that kind of timber, it's not a good fit. But I pushed the saw beyond what I would call its limits. So I'm going to be working in treetops, and as you can see, I have a lot of logs up here in the woodlot already ready to get cut up. But what this saw will primarily be used for is just topping out some of the trees, and that seems to work well for that. What I found as you can see from when I was cutting that large red oak, you can, a 12 amp hour battery, if you put this saw in the wood and keep it there, you might get 15 minutes out of a battery before either the saw will overheat or the battery would overheat. So, on the other hand, this same saw, working in treetops, I've done that several times now. Cutting smaller logs up, you can easily get a couple of good hours, and that has worked well thus far. What I've been doing, I would just work on a treetop or two, load it in the UTV here, bring it up and get it busted. So that worked well. So anyway, in summary, would I buy this saw again? Yes, I would, because I have a very particular use for it, and that use is working in treetops and so forth. So I have a lot of trimming to do. I'll be carrying this saw on my tractor. As we go on the back 40, if we have a tree down across the road or whatever, this is the ideal saw for that. If you need a saw to carry in your truck or on your farm, this is the ideal saw for that. All you have to do is put oil in it and keep the battery charged. So I will be getting a second battery. I've got one on order, so I can get more use out of it. You know, if you can get 4 hours of usage of a saw, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And I'm out here cutting firewood because I enjoy doing it. So anyway, that's my comments about the saw. In terms of a review, yes, I would buy it again. So I trust you enjoy this. I trust it's helpful. If you like this content, make sure you click that subscribe button. Click that little notification bell so you'll be notified each time we post a new video. So take care, God bless, and we'll see you again on the next Full Circle Ozarks.